Making the invisible visible, Black women 365 days of the year. Each day will spotlight a remarkable woman whose story has shaped Black, British or global diasporic history. Women whose achievements are too often overlooked. Through these daily short films, we create a living, breathing archive of leadership, creativity, resistance and legacy. Let's begin.
So my name is Kadian Pow, and I am a lecturer in sociology and the program lead for the MA in Black Studies and Global Justice at Birmingham City University. I think the energy that I think the energy that I bring into the world is one of hopefulness, intrigue, and informed positivity. I think what I'm holding space for right now or the last few years is really that my research excavates the interiority and subjectivity of Black women outside of the gaze, GAZE, the gaze of white supremacy, of patriarchy, all of those things. I'm very interested in who we are as people intrinsically inside ourselves and not reacting to the outside forces. What's most important to my work is that I don't know, it needs to feel like it matters. It needs to matter to me, not just to the larger kind of politic, but I need to figure out where my connection is, where is the piece that I can connect to in this vast sort of like mosaic of things happening in the world. I think I would say it's the work of Toni Morrison's novel beyond any singular academic, although there are a couple who have. But, Toni Morrison is a novelist, an activist, or was novelist, activist, an intellectual, a philosopher. She writes about how white supremacy makes a statement or a challenge to refocus Black people onto their agenda. And she says, they say you have no culture, so you prove to them that you have culture. They say you're not smart, so you do these things to say you're smart. And she points out that the very real actual work of what that is doing is the distraction and distracting us from the work that we actually want to put out into the world that is coming organically from inside of us. And instead, what we're doing is sort of always reacting instead of acting. And that shifted something in the world for me to the point that it impacted how I wrote my PhD dissertation. And so I think, given the previous things that I said, that what Toni Morrison wrote and, sort of like playing in the dark, Whiteness and the Literary Imagination is the full title. That for me really focused me on what is it that I want to do? What is it that I want to put out into the world? And what are my interests? And so I stopped thinking of those things as niche. I stopped thinking of those things as unimportant and just started centering my own view and relationship with Blackness, Black womanhood as the default perspective. Well, I sort of like only recently realized now that perimenopause has hit me that most of my life I have been contending with ADHD, and it explains so much about the way I think, the way I react. So I guess what most people would not see, I think they see a very like pleasant face, but I am like a swan in that everything here is very serene, but there is so much activity happening inside here and here all of the time. So I guess that's one thing like people would not readily sort of like know about me. I do that by allowing myself the small pleasures that I've cultivated. I'm like a very creative person, so whether that is writing creative fiction that I make space for. Sometimes things are unfinished, but if I have a thought or an idea, I will indulge that in a notebook. I have also taught myself how to bake really well, celebrating with a glass of Prosecco, going out with friends, or, sort of like indulging in my other creative pursuits. So, films, music, I just try to take in art of all kinds and know that something will spark, but just let it flow and to relax and not worry about it. The worst thing I could possibly do is to follow something that doesn't respect my instincts.
Thank you for joining us for today's story. Making the Invisible Visible is our commitment to ensuring that Black women's histories and contributions are recognised, valued and kept in daily circulation. Across 2026, we will continue to share these powerful narratives, 365 days of impact, brilliance and inspiration. Stay connected, join the conversation and help us champion the women whose journeys continue to shape our world. I'm Paulette Brooks and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for the next story.